Official, Hugo Ekitike, a Liverpool player. Isak wants Saudi Arabia move, Newcastle finds €100 million replacement in Spain. Marcus Rashford, a Barcelona player, season-long loan with buy option agreed. All of this and more in today's episode. Official, Hugo Ekitike is a Liverpool player. The Reds and Eintracht Frankfurt have reached a final agreement for the transfer of the French forward. The deal is valued at over €90 million, and with bonuses, it could reach €95 million, making it one of the most expensive transfers of the summer. The player has already signed a contract until June 2031, and the club has officially confirmed that Ekitike wanted to join Liverpool exclusively from the start. He missed Eintracht's last friendly match, and coach Topmøller stated, "It's obvious, he's no longer our player." Last season, Ekitike scored 22 goals and provided 12 assists in 48 matches, becoming Eintracht's attacking leader after Marmoush's departure. So Hugo Ekitike will be Liverpool's new central forward, around whom Arne Slot plans to build the attacking game. His style, technical ability, mobility, ability to play in combinations, and finishing fits perfectly into Slot's system with a single focal striker. Ekitike is not just a finisher, he creates chances, opens spaces for others, and presses the opponent's defense, as he did in Frankfurt. And what about Darwin Núñez now? Everything indicates that he will leave the club this summer. I think this is now practically 100% decided. Liverpool has already rejected an offer from Napoli, but Al Hilal and several other Saudi clubs are ready to pay the asking price, around £65 million. Núñez himself has agreed to the move, and the club views his sale as part of the attacking restructure. What we have in the end is Ekitike, the new number 9, who is expected to become the attacking leader, and Núñez on his way out, his style not fitting Slot's system. Lionel Messi has become the all-time leading goal scorer in football history for non-penalty goals. The Inter Miami star contributed to the rout of New York Red Bulls in another MLS championship match. The Argentines team won 5-1, with Messi himself scoring a brace. These goals helped Messi set a new record. The Argentine has now scored 764 non-penalty goals, which is the best indicator in football history. In this metric, he surpassed Cristiano Ronaldo, who has 763 goals excluding penalties. How can one not recall the joke about Penaldo? It is particularly impressive that Messi achieved this result significantly faster, 167 matches earlier than his main competitor. Manchester United is not stopping. After signing Cunha and Mbeumo, the club is actively working on the transfer of Edison from Atalanta. Ruben Amorim, despite strengthening the attack, believes that the midfield still needs significant reinforcement. That's why United has already held talks with Edison's agents and sent an inquiry to Atalanta, as reported by The Telegraph. The Italian club values the player at €60 million and is currently awaiting an official offer. Edison has a contract until summer 2027 and is open to a move, but Atalanta is in no hurry to sell until they find a replacement. Edison is a versatile central midfielder who can play as an 8, 10, or defensive midfielder. Last season, he played 49 matches, scored 5 goals, and provided 2 assists, while also demonstrating 86.5% passing accuracy and 52 successful tackles. This transfer is currently a priority for Manchester United, as Bruno Fernandes will be deployed deeper to control the tempo of the game, and Edison could be the one to fill that role, taking on more work in breaking up attacks, moving the ball, and pressing the opponent. If United agrees to Atalanta's demands, the transfer could be closed by the end of July. The club wants to see Edison in the squad for the USA tour. Alexander Isak has given the green light for negotiations with a Saudi giant, as confirmed by Foot Mercato. His agents are already in active talks, and Al Hilal is preparing an offer that could become a world record, £200 million. Despite this, Newcastle is adamantly unwilling to sell its key player. Isak's contract runs until summer 2028, and the club considers him indispensable for their Champions League participation. Interestingly, both clubs, Newcastle and Al Hilal, are owned by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, so the transfer does not violate regulations but raises ethical questions regarding internal asset movements. Isak scored 27 goals last season, becoming a symbol of Newcastle's resurgence and Eddie Howe's main attacking force. His move to the Saudi League could become the most high-profile transfer not only of the summer, if the Magpies change their stance, which is entirely possible, as Newcastle and Al Hilal essentially have one owner. The Magpies are telling everyone that Isak is not for sale, but in turn they have already found a replacement for him. Interesting, isn't it? That replacement is Julian Álvarez, whom Newcastle is closely monitoring, as he became a key player for Atletico Madrid after his €75 million move from Manchester City in August 2024. However, the Rojiblancos do not consider selling the Argentine a priority. The club values him at least €130 million and considers him an indispensable element in Diego Simeone's tactical schemes. Álvarez scored 27 goals in the 2024/25 season, adapted to La Liga instantly, and became a fan favorite. A move is only possible if Isak is sold, and Atletico insists Álvarez is unsellable unless an offer that cannot be refused arrives. Barcelona and Manchester United have finally agreed on the transfer of Marcus Rashford. The player is moving on a season-long loan with a buy option for €30 million plus €5 million in bonuses, as reported by Nico Shearer, and this option could become mandatory if certain conditions are met, such as the number of matches played, goal contributions, and Champions League participation. Barcelona has also agreed to cover Rashford's entire salary, £325,000 per week, which was made possible after the player agreed to a reduction in his base salary to €9 million per year with bonuses. This allowed the Catalans to bypass La Liga's financial restrictions. Rashford has already passed his medical, and his official presentation is scheduled for Tuesday, after which he will join the team for their Asian tour. Hansi Flick sees him as an alternative to Lewandowski and a competitor for Rafinha, and the player himself called the move a dream come true. Juventus has finally agreed to meet Manchester United's financial demands of €25 million as a fixed fee, without complex bonuses or exchanges. This paves the way for a full transfer that could be announced in the coming days. Sancho has already agreed personal terms with the Turin side, is prepared for a salary reduction, and sees Juventus as an ideal place to restart his career. Nottingham Forest tried to hijack the deal, but the player rejected their offer, remaining loyal to his agreement with Juve. The only thing still holding back the announcement is the payment structure and compensation for the early termination of his contract, which Juventus will partially cover. However, negotiations are in the final stages and optimism prevails in Turin. Official: Benfica has fully agreed to the transfer of 25-year-old Colombian midfielder Richard Rios from Palmeiras. The deal is worth €25 million fixed, plus €5 million in bonuses, which could increase to €30 million depending on the player's achievements. The contract is set to run until summer 2030, and Rios has already passed his medical and is ready for presentation. The player waived his share of the rights to simplify the move, and Benfica beat out Roma, who could not meet Palmeiras' financial demands. Rios chose the Portuguese club after a personal video meeting with President Rui Costa, who convinced him of the Eagles' sporting project. In the 2024/25 season, Rios played 36 matches, scored 4 goals, and provided 4 assists, becoming a key player for Palmeiras at the Club World Cup. His transfer is part of Benfica's strategy to rejuvenate their midfield ahead of the Champions League. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Keep watching for more football action and have a wonderful day.